Hey y'all, it's me Marty. Welcome to another video, another fun-filled video. Hopefully it'll be fun-filled. So, hope you're all doing well this morning. I just thought I'd do an updated shop tour this morning. So I did a shop tour. I like to do one a year. I think everybody likes to do that. They're kind of fun to watch. And I think I did mine in March, I believe. And it was over an hour long with a lot of rambling. So I thought I'd do an updated one and try to keep this to around 15 minutes. We'll see. Or at least under a half hour. A little bit shorter. I did change things around a little bit. And I got one new tool, made a couple of new tool carts. I cleaned a corner here that I've been wanting to do for a while. So yeah, I'm just going to do a quick run around and show you my little shop here. Also show you some patterns and talk about patterns just for a few minutes. Some people were asking. And I think there's a squirrel or something running over the roof of my shop. Squirrel! Anywho, just to let you know real quick again, and I have other videos on my shop if you want more details, but it's a 10 by 24 shop. I built it a few years ago. Basically out of scrap, the whole thing. I mean, the door, the windows were free from my work where I was working. All the siding and paneling and plywood and 2x4s and metal roof, it's all scrap, and it's ugly. It's not put together that great, but it's solid, and it's a nice place for me to work and putz and make gifts for people. So do a little bit of woodworking and make sawdust, so I enjoy it. So yeah, and I have just all used tools. I'm not really big on brand names, but I do have a lot of Delta. I like the older Delta tools, so especially the scroll saws and stuff. But so I'm just going to turn the camera around, do a quick little tour here, and I hope you enjoy it. Okay, so here's my shop looking from the door, looking north. Okay, that is north, that is west, that is south, and that is east. So let's go counterclockwise this time. I think we went clockwise last time. Okay, so and again, I want to go pretty quick through this and just show you my little shop. Okay, there's the door where you come in there. On the wall, I have some tool belts hanging up. I have my broom, a dustpan, and a brush. There I have a fire extinguisher for less fire and a torch for more fire. There's an old clock I used to have. That's the blade. I don't have the clock anymore. I'm not sure what happened to it, but in the corner here I have a cart here, and this is a new. I had a larger cart here. This is my sanding cart, and it was larger, but it just didn't work here very well. So I made a smaller cart, and I just have a bench sander, and then a smaller detailed sander, and then kind of a drum sander I made out of an old scroll saw motor. And it's on wheels. So basically, for the most part, what I try to do year round is bring my sander, I roll it out the door onto my shop deck, and I do sanding outside. I try to do that, keep most of the dust outside. Well, there is a lot of dust in here. I need to vacuum, but I don't have any dust collection or anything. But that's basically my sanding cart. There's a bunch of stuff there that I need to sand. I've piled there. I actually have a trash can under there, but all that's piled there ready to go to the sander. There's the little sled, Christmas sled thing I made the other day sitting there. All that's going to be sanded. I have a trash bin right there. Up here I have a really cheap tool shop air compressor, and it's dying. I need to get a better air compressor. I got a 50-foot hose there, and then I got some nail guns up there, basically Harbor Freight ones, but they work really well. I really enjoy using nail guns, especially just to, putting some, different things together instead of using screws. It's kind of nice it works really nice to just use a nail gun and glue to put things together, and they work really well. You'll notice around my shop, I have a lot of hardboard templates, and that's how I've been doing that for many years. I make templates, and then I just trace them on wood. I like to do that better than using paper patterns. So I have thousands of patterns hanging around and under the benches and stuff. I do use paper patterns now and then, but for the most part, I'd rather make a template and then just trace it on wood, and you don't have to deal with printing out papers and the adhesive and the tape and the glue and all the different things. That's just the way I do it. And so you'll notice a lot of templates hanging around. But yeah, okay, so as we go around the room here, here's my miter saw, and this is a Delta. And Got this really cheap. I think it was like 20 bucks on Facebook Marketplace, and it works amazing. Nice miter saw. I also have another miter saw. Oh, what is this? Hitachi. I have that one down there, and that one I just keep under there. I can. It's kind of a portable one. I can take places. But yeah, this is a main miter saw, and I have kind of a miter saw station here with adhesive tape here and a slide here. It works really well. You just slide it. And I also got some tape measures and stuff there, and pens and pencils and things in a cup there, and some Post-its. But that's kind of my miter saw station. A few years ago, I was carving signs. I'll talk about that a little bit, but I don't really do that anymore. But I did carve a lot of signs and sell some and give a lot of gifts and custom signs. It's kind of fun. Maybe someday I'll do that again, but I have a few of them laying there. And just some different things. There's a couple of the signs I made. And then some other pictures of Norwegian blessing there. I like to have my shop really homey and just different things around with family and friends. There's my mom. There's my dad with his camper, and he's holding the walleye. A couple of my favorite scriptures that are kind of have to do with woodworking and creating. There's a sketch of Jesus that I got at a garage sale years ago. I thought it was really kind of cool. He's my inspiration, of course, for everything. And then there's me and my wonderful wife, Marilyn. And there's my 3 kids, Nikki, Hayden, and Danny. And some more pictures of us, my precious family. And there's that is actually an ice scoop. And I have a lot of memories of camping and fishing and ice fishing with my dad when I was younger. And that's kind of an ice scoop to kind of remember him. Scooping out the ice out of the ice holes in the fish house. Then I got a little to-do board there just to write down gifts and new things I want to make and orders and stuff. And couple clipboards. And so basically my my shop is an electrician's nightmare. I have a PVC pipe right here coming from my garage, and I have an extension cord in, and it's plugged into all different extension cords. I know it's bad, but I usually only have one light on at a time, and I only use one tool at a time, and it's just me in here. So but I am going to wire the shop, and I've actually started. I got boxes in and switches and around different places, and yeah, I already have them in. I just have to get it wired in. My friend Don's going to help me do that someday, hopefully. But yeah, and I try this past weekend. I cleaned and organized my shop a bit, and I got rid of a lot of stuff. And I actually got I think I have 6 bins of scrap wood to go to the campfire. And you know me, nothing is scrap, but you can't keep everything. And I decided I got to start getting rid of some stuff so I have room to use what I do have. So I did get rid of a lot of stuff. But basically, I like to keep everything because even all the little pieces of wood can be made into wonderful things, especially if you do scroll sign. So here I just got bins of small stuff. I got walnut and maple, yellow birch, cherry, mahogany, alder, aspen, box elder, cedar, abachi, pine, poplar, oak. Lots of little stuff under there. Just have some 2x4s there, some cut off 2x4s, and then I have some oak and maple and cherry and some other woods there. That's actually cut-offs from scroll sign that I am keeping. Okay, I try to keep a lot, but I did get rid of a lot this week. But yeah, so there's that. And then I have a shelf here with, and that's a board. Every once in a while I get a weird board that has a face on it and I keep it. It's kind of funny. What do you see? I want to know what you see. Do you see an ostrich? An alien? Let me know what you see. I know I'm so weird. Okay, anyway, and then I just got some Marty word art that I cut there, and I made that little guy there with a head on it, and he lost his head. Where'd the head go? He lost his head. Anyway, kind of a silly thing. And I got all kinds of different cutoffs here. And, think outside the box, y'all, finding wood for doing scroll sign and woodworking and stuff. I mean, even all those are like drawer parts from an old dresser, and they're like birch and maple and oak, and a lot of times you can take apart old furniture and get rid of the junk, but keep the wood and stuff. So lots of other cutoffs and dowels and different things. This is lots of hardboard I use for making templates. And I got an old clock there. It did work. I don't know if it works anymore, but anyway, I got an old little, what do you want to call that? Like, apron thing there from Great Plains Supply. I worked there back in the mid-90s, and I really enjoyed working there. I had a couple of good friends there, and boy, memories from that place. But yeah, that was a long time ago. Seems like it was just yesterday. Anyway, some screw guns there. I basically have a nut driver that I use, and a drill, cordless drill I use for everything, basically. Yeah, so I have just Ryobi cordless tools, and they work okay. They're okay. They're kind of not the best, but they're okay. And I got a bunch of them, and so I'm just going to stick with them. But I do need to get some more batteries and a couple more chargers. Silly kind of retro TV thing I made not too long ago. That was one of the first things I ever made. Before I even started scroll sign or making things, I would just cut out signs and paint them. One of them, that thing is about 30-some years old. That's from like 1992. But knee pads, helmets. Yeah, there's another Great Plains helmet there. Oh, I'm knocking things over here. Got a slab thing there. I'm gonna make like a Lazy Susan or something out of that sometime. But anyway, yeah. Boy, this is going to be longer than I thought. I'm trying to make it quick, but I'm talking too much. Anyway, made a scroll saw drive and a woodworker street thing there. Did that a couple years ago. So as we go around here, okay, so now here's the area I changed and made better. This is my tool wall. So my hand tools and hand power tools are on this wall. And what I did have in this corner, it was a mess. I had an old workbench, and it was filled with unfinished projects from 20, 30 years ago. And I finally went through there and I got rid of that bench. And yeah, now I just have a few things down there. I'm just going to keep that kind of a walkway to get to my tool wall, to get, around my bench. So I'm not going to put anything else there. So I just got shot vac, some bins, and my fan down there. But I can actually get to my tool wall now. I got rid of that old workbench, and I got rid of a whole bunch of unfinished projects that I was never going to finish. And I did keep a few things. One of them was the sled thing the other day, and the doll furniture I made for my granddaughter. So I kept some stuff, but kind of cleaned up that corner finally. So a lot better. But yeah, basically just all my hand tools, lots of different saws and levels, and pry bars and hammers and saws. I got extension cords and pliers and screwdrivers and caliper, which I don't think I've ever used. I don't even know how to use it. Wood burner, soldering guns, stud finders, some draw knives, and just utility knives and staplers and levels and different things up there. And I do have a few hand power tools. I got two Ryobi sawzalls and a Ryobi small saw there, and I got a Makita little saw there, but I don't have a battery for it. My wife got that at a garage sale. Anyway, I just got a hyper tough jigsaw there. I'm actually going to get a Ryobi cordless jigsaw and then get another battery. And I got a grinder there, which I don't think I've ever used. And there's some old antique tools, planes, and a drill thing, and just different, plane things that I got at really cheap at garage sales. Kind of neat. Also got some old files up there, different levels and different things, and yeah, and then there's some different blades for Sawzall and jigsaw. A bin of safety glasses there, extra safety glasses. I basically have safety glasses at every tool just so they're ready, but those are extra ones, especially I like to teach our youth in our church. Every once in a while we have them over, and I teach scroll sign and woodworking to them. I have like 10 or 12 scroll saws in the garage next to my scroll saw shop here. So I have 2 scroll saws in here, but then next door in the garage, what do I have? 10 or 12 in there, I think, for teaching scroll sign when I get a chance. But yeah, so I have extra safety glasses. And here's my clamp wall. I just got a whole bunch of different various clamps, spring clamps and bar clamps and different ones. Just a bucket and some different old lights and wire and stuff there in the corner. So yeah, this is basically what I just showed you. This is the east wall, which is basically attached to the garage. So this shop is built on a 10 by 24 base that actually can be moved. So this is basically a portable building, and but I have it kind of attached to the garage temporarily right now. But okay. And then this is the north wall, and I still got to work on this, but this is basically all my hardware. I got some long clamps up there, but basically I just have all kinds of bins here. I'd like to make this better someday. They don't remove, they're just screwed to the wall. Try to do French cleats or something maybe someday, but I don't know. This works. And I have some bins that are removable, and all kinds of different hardware, and then all different kinds of craft supplies. And yeah, I need to organize, and I got all kinds of bins of different things down there. And then out here, don't look too close, but that's a big old pile of junk. I think if you have a hobby farm or a farm, you have a pile of junk behind the garage. That's just junk to go to the dump someday. And then I have my old license plate. And that was my Grandpa Mord's, I believe, his sign in his shop. And then there's my Marty's Rambling sign I carved. That was one of the first ones I carved. But yeah. Anyway, this is a little corner. Got a chair here, and I just put some scrap wood, plywood sides on it. A little place to sit. So sometimes I'll just sit and look at my woodworking magazines, or I'll drink coffee and eat pistachios and make a video rambling. I got my Bible there and other things to read. And this is a stack of Scroll Saw magazines that I'm going through, re-looking at them to make projects that I never made before that I want to maybe do. Yeah. And okay, now we're on the west wall, and here's just a few things that people have made for me and sent me. If you've made me something and given me gifts, thank you so much. This is just a few things that people have made and given to me through the years. Thank you so much. You don't have to do that, but thank you. It's appreciated. I have a lot more things that people have made me in the house too. And there's a puzzle of Tim the Toolman Taylor. Yeah. And then I got my little sticker wall. Yeah, I don't have many stickers. If you have a sticker and you want to send me a sticker and I'll send you one. There's my sticker. It's kind of silly, but the Jesus word there that I like to make, that's probably my favorite thing to make on the scroll saw. A couple of Martyisms, but anyway, yeah. Okay, so yeah, so we're on the west wall here, and here's some just different memories of things I've gotten. So that's my very first scroll saw. It's a Sears Craftsman 18-inch scroll saw. That was my very first scroll saw. It's when I started on. It's really kind of rickety and kind of hard to use, but it got me into scrolling, and so I have that up there. My Grandpa Mord, and this is Grandpa Mord right there. There's Uncle Don. Those two guys got me into scroll saw woodworking back in 1992. There's Grandpa Mord's jacket and his tape measure suspenders. He passed away in 2000, I believe. And some different crafts that he made. And I don't have a whole lot of my dad's, but I have his old JCPenney's toolbox here. He used to have in his pickup all the time. A flashlight and a couple screwdrivers. But yeah, just some memories of people that inspired me in my woodworking and shop putzing through the years. There's a printer that my pastor gave me. I'm going to try to get it going, and I use it in the shop. I got some cardboard paper there. I got a whole bunch of patterns. I got a zillion patterns, y'all. So those are patterns for carving, making flags. And then I have bins and bins and bins and bins of patterns that I've collected through the years, and piles of patterns. And then I have scroll saw magazines. These ones here are my favorite. Whoa, okay. Well, that fell there. We'll put that back in there. Okay. Anyway, Creative Woodworks and Crafts. This was out in the 90s, and I think they quit in the early 2000s maybe, but that's my all-time favorite scroll saw magazine. You can still find back issues, but it's not published anymore, but that's all Creative Woodworks and Crafts. And then my second favorite is Scroll Saw Workshop, which is called Scroll Saw Woodworking Crafts now, but this is actually the first issue back in 2000. So I have that one too, and I still get that one. But yeah, that's my second favorite scroll saw magazine. And then I have all kinds of scroll saw books, woodworking books, tons of stuff, other woodworking magazines, tons and tons and tons and tons of I got bins or binders of my favorite patterns and stuff. And these are all old, really old patterns here, stacks of them. And actually, I'm going to show you a few of them on my workbench in a little bit. But that's my little library of woodworking magazines and books and patterns. I got, yeah, more patterns than I'll ever use in my lifetime, but it's just kind of fun to have. I make a lot of the same things, but it's fun to bring out new things. And as I'm getting older, I really like to bring back older patterns. And I've been doing that, and I want to do that more too. But yeah, that's kind of my little library there. And as we move down here, we'll get to my scroll saw area, which my whole shop revolves around my scroll saw. That's what I like to do most of all. On the way, on the wall here, just got some pictures and different things, and there's a mirror. Hey, y'all, it's me, Marty. And an old pencil sharpener there that still works great. Kleenex and paper towels, a couple of, and I have things that other people have made. These are some reindeer Rudolphs that Grandpa Mort or Uncle Don made. I don't remember who made them, but yeah, I have those. Now, again, all kinds of those are Christmas ornaments I made through the years. That's a serious spider web going on there. Yeah, if you have a wood shop, you're going to have spiders. Ooh. But they are amazing creation of God. They really are, but they're creepy too. But anyway. All right. So I have a stool here, and this is just a flotation device. It works for a nice padded seat. But yeah, that's my stool. It swivels. I got this garage sale for, I don't know, 50 cents or something. And I actually have it elevated there, but here's my Delta scroll saw, 18-inch, 20-inch, something like that. And I have a bin there just to pull things down as I cut. I have a shop vac hooked up to it, and I have a fan there. I did have an where is it? Oh, I think it fell down. I have a little adjustable light too, for above it, and then I have a foot pedal I like to use. All kinds of accessories here. I have a little mini drill press and then scroll saw blades and different things. I like to have accessories for the scroll saw right there. And I like to have my tools by windows, especially my scroll saw. So I can sit here and scroll saw and look out the window. Yeah, so that's my view. So kind of neat. But yeah, that's my main scroll saw. I was going to vacuum and stuff before I did the video, but what are we at? 23 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna keep it under 30 minutes because I wanted this to be a short one. Anyway, this is a cart I made, and I have here. I have things already laid out to cut. So I have a Jesus portrait there that I'm gonna do. Rejoice. I love to make Jesus words. I have them all traced out, ready to cut. That's my new Christmas ornament this year. Bless this house. Smiles are fun to make. I got some 3D reindeer. All those are fun to make. All different kinds of things. These are all hugs, and it's stacks of stuff already traced, ready to cut. So then I cut them on the scroll saw, and then I set them on my workbench over here, and then they go to the sander over there. But yeah, anyway, let's keep going here. Keep rolling. There's my backup scroll saw. This is my 16-inch Delta. If that one would break, or if I need another one, if I'm teaching in here or something, or have family or friends in here, that's my second scroll saw in the shop. and I just make 2x4 carts for everything. It's cheap, they're solid, and I put them on wheels, and you can move things around. That's what I kind of do for that. And then I just have lots of stuff up here, other pictures and scroll saw things I made, and then, just different accessories, pens and pencils. There's more scroll saw blades there, and there's a pig, and different things. So yeah, here's a little bandsaw. It's a Performax. It's a 10, 12-inch, something like that. I haven't even used it yet. My wife got it at a garage sale. Actually, I think she got it free on the side of the road. Anyway, it does work. I'm not really, I don't know a lot about bandsaws, but I have that. I'm going to use that someday. Yeah, so I have other things up here too, some other antiques and different things, and up on the shelves and stuff here, another window. And here's my new tool. Okay, I accidentally just hit the stop button on my video, sorry. But anyway, this is a 12-inch Delta planer, thickness planer that my friend Robert from New York gave me. My last run, I swung by and visited with him a while, and we had a nice visit, and he gave me this thickness planer, so I'm very excited to use that. So yeah, that was the last tool I really wanted in my shop. I have everything I need. I don't have room for anything else. But yeah, that's my thickness planer, and I built the cart here. So that's another change. Right here, I used to have a large sign carving desk, and I carved signs, but I kind of quit carving signs, and so I got rid of that workbench, and I made two other carts here. So instead, in this spot, I have my thickness planer on a cart, and I have my router table on a cart. And actually, if I pull this out, you can see I got a lot. I have other routers, sign carving stuff still, and I've made shelf there for all my router bits and other things. But honestly, I don't use routers very often. I only use them to round over. That's why I have that router table there to round over on different things. Trying to do this one-handed. But yeah, so I do have routers and router bits if I ever want to do more with routers, maybe someday. Then I have I just built that last year, just a thing to hold my bits. Nothing fancy, but it works. Hold drill bits and all kinds of other drill bit stuff up here. And I got paintbrushes and scrapers and got some templates for making peg games and cribbage boards and stuff. But yeah, so that my planer and my router table replaced my sign carving table, so I like that a lot better. So yeah. Then I have a 12-inch Delta drill press here. That's my main drill press that I use. Works really well. Again, that was a super good, cheap Facebook Marketplace deal. And then I have another old, large Duracraft kind of antique drill press here. My friend Don gave me that one, so I have actually those two drill presses and then my mini drill press over there. But yeah, and then I just have, you know, different glues and stains and sprays and different things for finishing stuff up there. Actually, it's starting to get cold, finally cooling off. I'm so glad. But I'm going to bring my glues and sprays and batteries and stuff into the house for the winter. My shop isn't heated. But and then back there, I got to organize this better. But there's my pocket hole jig, and I got sanding stuff, all kinds of sanding things. And okay, now we're on to the south wall, almost done here. Let's see if we can keep this under 30 minutes. Then I have Ryobi sanders over here, and my two favorite beers. Again, I don't drink very much, but every once in a while I have a few beers, and that's the ones I like. I don't know why I have them up there, just kind of silly. And this is a Shopsmith lathe. I don't know if I'll ever use it, but it was very cheap on Marketplace, and so I got it, and it looks cool in my shop. Very heavy. Under there I just got some birch logs. I got a toolbox there I made for when I do projects and on the go and at church or different places. I can take that. There's some other thing more electrical because I am going to wire the shop when my friend Don has time. And then I have a TV in here, and some different things I made there, and a boombox, cassette player, and some old cassettes down in there. And yeah, I got a first aid kit and a thermometer by the door, and yeah, and we're back to the door. Okay, and then I'll show you my workbench is in the middle of the room. I used to have my table saw in here, but I don't use the table saw very often, and so I have my table saw and my other scroll saws and wood in the garage next door. So, but I decided I want to have a main workbench in the middle, and I really like this. And this, I just built this. This is like about 3 foot wide, about 2.5 foot wide by about 5 to 6 foot long. Works really nice. Nice height. So I store some wood under there. And more patterns, tons and tons and tons and tons of patterns. And then it's just nice to have a workspace, and I really enjoy this. But am I the only one that their workspace, their main workbench is always full of stuff? I have a little bit of space here, but not much, but it's okay. So as I cut stuff on the scroll saw over here, and I'm going to do the give thanks next, I put them right here. As I cut things, I put them right here, and then they're ready to go to the sander. My coffee mug, and this have, again, pens and pencils and rulers and different things. All kinds of, a couple different projects I'm in the middle of. And then I have some old coffee cans with some chisels and knives and just some mallets I made and different things. I got to get back to making those bottle openers. I got all those, and I had never made any yet. But anyway, and there's some more 3D word art I'm working on, a whole stack of different words. Here's the new Scroll Saw Woodworking and Crafts magazine, which used to be Scroll Saw Workshop. That's the new issue. Got that out here, and I was just going to show you. This is just some different patterns of other things I want to make. Just random patterns. I don't even know where I get some of these. And that's the thing too, y'all. Some people are asking if I can share patterns. I'm sorry, but I don't really have a way of doing that on my YouTube channel. And unless I know you, I don't have a way of sending you patterns. But If you want, you can just screenshot, like this one, just screenshot that picture and then print it off and you can make it. So, yeah, otherwise I don't have a way of sharing patterns. But, yeah, I bought a lot of patterns through the years. And, again, I get them in magazines and books and all kinds of random patterns. Some of them I get free online. Some of them I made. But, yeah, it's pretty easy to find patterns. So, but, yeah, these are just some random patterns. I don't even know where I got these. Just some random things that I want to make. You know, all different ones. I got stacks here of patterns. I just grabbed a bunch of new or older patterns that I want to make and just different things. So that's just some upcoming projects I'm going to do. And then I wanted to just show you, I got piles and piles of older patterns. It's really fun to see these antique patterns. The heart, like it's a door heart, basically. And we used to have a Santa one of those. But, yeah, I was going to make that sometime. And I just want to show you some of these old patterns. I mean, look at these. Just old patterns. It's just fun to find these. You know, and I don't know when I got these. A vegetable bin, you know, and there's a cedar chest. I got them out of magazines and books. There's a picnic table. Just some old patterns and different things. Kid-sized picnic table. I made one of those one year. Yeah, there's a knife rack. I need to make one of those in the kitchen. There's a fishing rod rack. You know, these are old patterns from magazines and books, and I don't even remember where I got most of these. But yeah, at garage sales and thrift stores, you can just find old patterns. Look at this. This is a sketch. Somebody drew this. I don't know if is that a cardinal, I think? They just drew it. I don't know where I even got it. It wasn't mine. I got it at a garage sale or something. But look at these old antique patterns. They're just fun. I love to find these and get these, so I'm bringing out a bunch of my older patterns. I'm going to do some of these. I'm going to make some of these things. Just old antique patterns. I mean, anybody, just look around. You can find these. And people give these away. These are really old patterns. I think I got these at a woodworking store back in the early 90s, and I don't even think the store's there anymore, but just old patterns, and I got for pennies. A lot of these things I got free, you know, this is just a fraction of patterns I have. Oh, those are those whirligig things. Those are kind of fun to make. So I want to try to make some of those. I just wanted to show you some of the older patterns I have that I want to make. You know, there's always new patterns coming out for scroll sign and woodworking, but there's just something about bringing back the older ones. You know, they're just fun. Whoa. Shaky here. Too much coffee this morning already. Look at this scoop shop. I mean, nobody makes those things anymore. I just think they're kind of fun. Just different antique woodworking things. You know, I don't know. It's just, and look at this. This is just, yeah, craft plans. That was an older place, and I don't think they're even there anymore. This is that's actually the hobo font I used. And I found the lettering. That's what I used to make my my names. But yeah, so I have different things. And this is actually corian I got from cabinet shops I worked in. It cuts really nice on the scroll saw. It's kind of fun, different thing to cut besides wood. And I got an anvil there. I don't do metal work, but I got this for a quarter at a garage sale. Or did I make that one? No, I think I made that. I don't remember. Anyway, I think I got it at a garage sale. Use it for a pattern. These are stacks of templates that I'm going to make. These are more templates I'm going to make that I didn't have the templates, but I'm going to make them. So I got to scroll saw those, and then this is stacks and stacks of patterns and templates to do. And but yeah, I got a lot of stuff on my workbench. What is on your workbench? There's a question for you. Please answer in the comments. What is on your workbench right now? What are you making for craft shows, for gifts, for Christmas, for the holidays coming up, or projects you're working on? What stuff is on your workbench? This is my workbench. It's never really empty, but I have a little space to work here, but it's also nice to hold stuff. Okay, that's it, y'all. Hopefully it's under 30 minutes, but hopefully it's at least under an hour. My last one was like over an hour. Crazy. Too much rambling. Anyway, I'm going to end this video now. I just wanted to do a little updated shop tour. 2025 here in end of October. Anyway, just pray you're all doing well. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.